Well, we've had some comments talking about the fact that you think I'm doom and gloom. Well, I am doom and gloom. I'm charged with only two things. In my firm, we have a lot of people that work with us, and we have a saying that our investors are very, very simple creatures. They only want two things. They want to make money, and they don't want to lose money. So if we think that we're going to lose money, we're not putting any new capital out, and we have not been putting any new capital out since March of 2022, almost 18 months. Now, I'm going to tell you, I make a lot of money when I sell a property. We love selling properties, and we certainly want your business, but I've been in business for 50 years, and there's a difference between wanting and needing your business. Now, we don't need your business. Now, I have a personal portfolio for a lot of properties, so we're going to do just fine. Our business is really, really good. I don't need to sell you something to pay the bills. That's the difference between us and a lot of other companies, is that, yes, we certainly want your business. So I don't want to sound like we don't want your business, but we're not going to sell you something that is not good for you and violate rule number 2. And that's lose money, because most of our investors, I'm going to tell you through, I've been in this business for 40 years. We've made a lot of money through this cycle, and we intend to keep that money. We've done extremely well for our clients, and we're looking for making a lot more money coming up. And that is going to happen probably in 12 to 18 months. Now, my outlook continues to be fairly negative. I think that we're going to see here in Phoenix, Arizona, we've already seen the peak of pricing, and that second peak came in June of 2023. Now, if you've been following my work, and by the way, if you're following our work, if you would subscribe and hit that like button, it really helps our YouTube. And I know, please keep trying to subscribe. I've had several people comment to me telling me that they keep getting unsubscribed. I don't know why that is. If that happens, you put it in the comments so we can take a look at that and follow it. But we want you to stay in touch with us, and we want you to pay comments. You're welcome. We'd love to hear what you're thinking of this. But our position is the fact that I think nationally we're going to see housing is going to peak in the end of first quarter of 2024 or first part of second quarter of 2024 and start heading down. And here in Phoenix, I think that's already happened. So if I'm wrong, well, you've lost 6 or 9 months of marketing time. If I'm right, we've just saved you a ton of dough, which is, again, that's rule number 2. Remember, simple creatures, they don't want to make money and they don't want to lose money. So that's what we live by. So let me go to my client slide. I think that the Federal Reserve is too high for too long, and I think it is just a myth of a soft landing. I mean, it's a great narrative. It's good for the markets, makes you feel good. I think we've got a pretty tough hard landing coming. So let me go to my first slide here. Let's just talk about it. Now, I got this today from Zero Hedge. So the Federal Reserve hit its 2% inflation target. However, it hit it months ago. This is a lagging indicator. I'm going to tell you, the Federal Reserve should have had this data when they're looking at this. So if you look at this is an October data, which is almost 3 months late. And of course, it's a 2% increase in prices. We're not talking about declining prices yet, but I do think if you've been following my work, we're going to see deflation out there. Now, I'm going to tell you that you can see the trajectory for months ago that inflation was heading down. Let me go to my next slide. You can just take a look at that. Here again, you can see that the Federal Reserve, I think, is overshot, and I think it's time for you to brace for impact. Now, you can see the consumer price expenditures has really gotten down into that 2% range, and the trajectory is certainly lower. Let me go to my next slide and look at that. Here's what I'm concerned about. Now, look at the 2 circled graphs. Now, I'm going to tell you that the one on the right is right now, that's 17 months, 17 out of 19 months. We've been looking at this, that manufacturing has been negative. Now, 17 of the last 19 looks just like it did during the great financial crisis, but we're still going. We haven't resolved yet. So I think this is going to look even worse. Let me go to my next slide. You can take a look at that. And the leading economic indicators also been negative for the last 17 months. And we are looking at a negative 7.6% year over year. Again, take a look at that between that and 2005 during the great financial crisis. We are going to probably match that or get even worse. That is what is on our indicators. Now, again, the U.S. leading economic indicators are continue to signal a recession over the next 12 months. It probably is continuing. Now, we have a little bit of a lag, but it looks very, very similar to what it was in 2001. I think it's going to continue down and look very, very similar to the great financial crisis. Now, here's the things that you need to take a look at. Now, two of the indicators that are financial indicators is when you have a yield curve that inverts. Now, the deeper the inversion, the deeper the recession. The yield curve has inverted so steep that you have to go all the way back to Paul Volcker during the 80 and 81 recession to find something that's the same length as this one. So it's going to show us that the recession is going to be deeper and longer than the normal ones. And I'm going to tell you, it is just like clockwork. Every time you have one, we have a recession. Look at the charts. There is no mistaking that. And what's happening now is that we are normalizing that inverted yield curve, and it's coming up. And I'm going to guess it's going to come back into our predictions that we're looking at probably first or second quarter. Things are going to get really, really pretty nasty at that. Let me go to the next slide. Look at this one. Now, every time the Federal Reserve stops raising interest rates and they plateau, within 6 or 9 months following that, we run into a recession. Now, the Federal Reserve quit raising interest rates a few months ago. And here's the interesting thing. They hit 5.25% during the great financial crisis. They hit 5.25% this time as well, and they've plateaued. Now, I don't think the Federal Reserve is raising any more interest rates. We're definitely in the plateau, and the next change is going to be down. And of course, when it goes down, all hell breaks loose. So we need to start thinking that this is going to happen. Now, here's something that just is heartbreaking. And if you've been following my videos, we've been talking about homelessness and St. Mary's Food Bank being empty and needing some replenishment. But it used to be 49% of Americans were 2 paychecks away from homelessness. That has increased to 62%. And what's really interesting, it goes with the same percentage of people who are claiming they are out of cash, that their bank accounts have been drained and that their credit cards are maxed out, and they have no more flexibility. So what's going to happen if they lose their jobs? They're 2 paychecks away from homelessness. The credit cards are maxed, and they have no more cash left in the banks. This is going to be an amazing problem. This is going to be a very, very bad situation. So are you prepared? Are you physically prepared for this? Now, we've been talking about this. You need to have some cash at home. What if you can't get to the bank? What if the bank is closed and you need money? What if your credit card gets turned off? You need to get some gas. You need to get food for the kids. You need to pay the rent. You need to have cash. So I am advocating you have 3 to 6 months of actual cash right in your home. Don't tell anybody. But you need to be able to get your hands on some of this. You need to pay down your debt. Start saving some money. Make it a game. Try and save as much as you possibly can. And I'm going to tell you, we need to get you through this period, because right behind this period, you're only going to get one of these opportunities, maybe 2, maybe 3 times in your life, to make enormous, incredible buying opportunities that are life-changing for you. And these are coming. Now, if you'd like to talk with me, this is where I'm at. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I work with West USA, holds our license. They do our back office work. They keep us, they follow our compliance. They're $1 billion firm. If you'd like to do a consultation with us, give us the switchboard a call. We'll schedule something up. In the meantime, make a comment for me. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. My very best to you. Bye-bye.